the DLC Young Leader, Vinit Amol Bhatia, of our Global Digital Marketing and PR Committee, co-founder of WTF Media and WTF Sports, CEO of Giardina India and Vinpack India, a serial entrepreneur having businesses ranging from social gaming, consulting, furniture, and food processing. As a leader of Southeast Asia's #1 fan engagement and media company, he becomes our ideal speaker to give a DLC talk on how to lead your company to growth, the culture, the pivot, and building a global brand. Welcome, Vinit.
So good evening, everybody. I'm here today to discuss what brought me to, first of all, my startup, which is WTF Media, as Pearl mentioned, which is today we're Asia's #1 fan engagement platform. I'm not a sports addict. If people knew me a few years ago, I was a very fat kid, didn't play sports at all. But during the lockdowns, with a lot of time on my hands and a brother-in-law and a cousin brother who loves sports, we said, let's do something productive with our time. So we created first a fantasy gaming platform called WTF Sports, which was very similar to Dream11, very similar to Fantasy Akara. And we realized while we were doing this, that a lot of the consumers would be switching between our app and ESPN and a lot of other apps to find out their information. So we said, let us create a super sporting app, which has everything in one single place. So we went on to develop and pivot the business into a fan engagement and social media platform. So we're basically a combination of Facebook, OTT platforms like Hotstar. We have, of course, ESPN and all your scores. And we also have an area as we build communities. So when we do community building, it means that you may not be comfortable posting or commenting to a large group or the public. You may want to just comment to your friends. So we're creating a smaller community-based platform. And we started this and we said, let's focus on India. Then we got an opportunity to move to Thailand. And so my two partners, my brother and my cousin brother, moved to Thailand, and they've been managing the business from there. And the Thai government actually invested, and basically nobody has created such a platform. And so we looked at what consumers want to build a brand. And today we've become the #1 platform. We are also now on the track to, the European government has invested with us, and we're trying to now find ways to go global. So we're right now big in Southeast Asia, and we're growing now. We're starting to slowly target the European markets. For the sporting engagement, we're talking to the English Premier League and a lot of other brands. And basically, the one thing I realized is that you don't need to be large. We started this company out of our savings. And today we're a $17-18 million company. And we have over 2 million users on our platform. And we're targeting over 1 billion users by 2025. So anybody can do it. It's just a matter of having the right product, the right idea, and really, believing in it. But so today with that platform, I think we've learned and we keep developing. The big thing is that you have to listen to what your consumers want when you're growing your brand. Consumers are the best people to tell us what they need in a product. And that is the one big learning I've had, that whether it's somebody meeting me on the street or it's somebody commenting on our Facebook post or on our social media, hey, why don't you have this feature? Or why don't you have that feature? We've sat with our teams in Bangalore and really tried to do that and develop that, so that the people, because they're the ones who are going to keep coming. And we've not really engaged heavily in marketing it by spending, crores and crores of rupees like other platforms. We've actually, in the last, I would say, year, we've spent less than 1 crore of rupees in marketing our company. But we've become the #1 platform in Southeast Asia for sporting and sporting related news, in commentary and entertainment. But I mean, that's basically the sporting platform. And that's what I wanted to tell you about it.
Vinit, I would love to step in at this point and introduce to people that while the sporting platform is something that he's working on, and any of you that have questions, I think this is the right time to pick his brain on creating an entire niche in a domain that we're not always present in. While this goes on, something that's of personal interest to me. How does the family business concept work for you? I'm a second generation entrepreneur, is what I'd like to believe, working in the organization. How do you create your own independent identity? And how has the challenge been from business to business, whether it's food, whether it's furniture? How do you go about navigating it?
We used to do biscuits, cookies. My father came from that line. And it was very difficult initially when I left college and I decided to come back to the family business, because a lot of people who have been with him for 20 years have said, he's the boss's son. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's here because he's the boss's son. But I went out and I showed them that, what? I got down on the floor with them. I started working with my people and I really showed them that, yes, I deserve to be here. And that's the big thing. And then once COVID hit, my father basically just handed over the helm to me and said, take it over, which was unplanned. We set out a 5-year plan and it happened in 1.5 years. And I started this furniture business at the same time that COVID hit. And so a lot of people suddenly realized when I took the reins and I said, you know what, let's do this. Let's manage the finances this way. Let's focus. Let's restructure. Let's talk to the banks. And that's what made them realize that, yes, I'm capable and I'm not standing in that seat as CEO of the company today because I'm the boss's son. It's because I have the skill set.
And Vinit, the other thing that I'm most excited about is the furniture line. I know you've been working with everyone from Pole, which is a leader in the luxury space with Italian furniture, as well as the likes of IKEA. How is that going? How did you manage to bring in and break through into the European market, which is very dominated, creating an independent identity for an Indian firm?
So, of course, as everyone knows, India is a huge export market. So what I did is brought that European technology by bringing the Italian companies that make the equipment and saying, hey, I can give it to you 20%, 30% lower than what it's costing you right now in Europe to do it or in the US to do it. And I'm using the same technology that you guys are using there. And so these companies then said, you know what, if you can do it better, if you can bring our costs down, we can then either maximize our profits or pass that benefit. For an IKEA, it's pass that benefit on to the end consumer. For a Pole, it's more profit.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Vinit. Thank you for all the little inside secrets that we get through because you've been a part of the trade. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.